Those are some of the performances, eh? Ravi B, Super Blue. Super Blue. All right. All right, so guys, we need to stop the music at this time. We need to stop the music at this time. And we're asking all members of the People's National Movement, yes or no, come forward to the small stage and go to the sides and on the tracks. Come on, guys. Guys, you need to come out from under your tents and come to the small stage.
PNM family, you all come around on this side, facing, so come on back.
All right, so we like to thank the Heritage Skiffle Bunch. Of course, the band who is making things possible. We say good afternoon, PNM Sports, good afternoon. No. Better than that. PNM Sports, good afternoon. Much better. All right, we need the music off. I know we have a little delay with my voice, but let's have the music off at this time. So, where you all represented? Anybody from Northside, Trinidad, make some noise? No, we have to do better than that. Let's start in Port of Spain. Anybody from Port of Spain, make some noise. What about Eastside, Trinidad, make some noise. What about Central? Make some noise. Where is my South people? Make some noise. I will be your host this afternoon with my husbands, and of course, we're gonna bring some entertainment to the stage. I don't know how best we can deal with it in this delay, so we can get things clear. But to jumpstart this afternoon's activities, I want you all to put your hands together for a veteran in the business, Peter C. Lewis.
The Lab Music Production.
Whoa! Is this just a PNM better what? Hey! Say what? What? Oh, na 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 na. What? What? Where the people from the PNM? Let me see. Hold on. You're going back right there, but hold on. Is anybody here from the People's National Movement? Say yeah. What about over here? Is anybody here from the PNM? Say why? DJ, let me go again.
This one is for the PNM family.
Hey, 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 hey. Why? Why? Oh, na, 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 na. Press the finger on it. Next tune. Hey, say I believe. Say I believe. Yeah, na 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 na. Say I believe. Where the people who voted in the next election, show me a voting finger. Put it there.
We've come a long way together as a nation, standing side by side. Still a long way to go, we gonna get there, standing side by side. I see the faces, the races, the spaces, the places where we all come from. I see the Indians, the Africans, the Chinese, the civilians united all as one. We gonna get there.
We have an election to win. Where the PNM people? Let me see your hands in the air.
It's as the reason we must stand for honesty, to defend democracy. I must believe in PNM, for the PNM people. Must believe in PNM, for the PNM.
PNM, say PNM, say PNM. Oh na 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 na.
Twin islands blessed with a future, standing side by side, united with love for each other, standing side by side. Creation, a nation, a whole generation, where we all come from. The Hindu, the Muslim, the Baptist, the Christian, living all as one.
We say we gonna get there. Hey, you believe that? Hey, I say we gonna. If you believe in the People's National Movement, put it up now. I must believe. You must believe. We must believe. You must believe. I must believe. San Fernando, Skinner Park. I really want to see all the people who really believe in the People's National Movement. If you're proud to be PNM right now, put your two hands in the air and say, why? Well, let me go with this one. Tune again. All will be fine. Look, we made right choice every time. Still a job to be done and a race to be won. And you know we will win every time. Just give the faith. Give the faith. Put your hands in the air. Hey, hey, hey. Yes, your job will be done and the race will be won. Over here, you want to steer a line? Go! How we go vote for the love of we country? Here we go. Where the section from? Digo Martin West. Is anybody from Digo Martin? One more time, let me go. Hey, hey, hey. We'll be fine. Look, we made the right choice every time. Still a job to be done and a race we won, and we know we will. Digo Martin West, hands in the air. Hey, 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 hey. Yes, the job will be done and the race will be Digo Martin, you do it. How we go vote for the love of we country, and we go vote to protect the treasury. We go vote. It's only Dr. Rowley. The right choice. PNM is the choice. PNM is the voice. PNM all the way. Run. You see this next part? This you. We ready now.
We ready now.
This one is for the
exotic family. We ready.
All you ready now? Hey! Boy! Boy! Oh, na 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 na! Ready? Boy! Boy! I want to see you on the dance. Raise your leg and then turn around and then jump up and then jump up and then raise your leg and then turn around and then jump up and down and then jump up and then say whoa yo, whoa yo yo, whoa yo. Will! Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Peter C. Lewis. Remember, great is the PNM, great is the PNM, great is the PNM. And we will always prevail. Love you.
Y'all make some noise for Peter C. Lewis. So we're not going to sing because we told you all we have a lot of entertainment in store for you. But before we do anything else, we'd like to welcome on stage right now the Honourable Dr. Nayan Gaspi Dolly, the Minister of Education. I want you all to make some noise for her as she gives a few words before we get ready for the Honourable to give the feature address.
PNM family! If you love PNM, put your hand in the air! This is the time we have been waiting for. In 2010, they thought they had the PNM on the ropes. In 2010, they thought the PNM was dead. But when God has a work to do, God sends a man. In 2010, God sent a man. And in 2015, the People's Partnership understood that we are the PNM. We are the party of Eric Williams, George Chambers, Patrick Manning, and in 2024, we are the party of Keith Christopher Rowley. This is our party, this is our leader, and you have gathered here in your thousands today to hear our leader. If you're ready to hear our political leader, say great is the PNM. If you are ready to hear Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, political leader of the People's National Movement and Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, now 2024, 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028, say great is the PNM. Let's call him on. Call the doctor. Call the doctor. Call the doctor. We want the doctor. Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley.
All you PNM, put up your hand. Put up your hand. Put up your hand. If you are PNM, put up your hand. Party chairman, deputy political leaders, general secretary, all members of the PNM executive, on your behalf, I say to the PNM gathered here this afternoon in your thousands in the brand new Skinner Park, great is the PNM. Great is the PNM. Great is the PNM. And we shall prevail. This afternoon, it is my distinct pleasure to welcome all those of you who responded to our call to have today as a day of celebration. a day of brotherhood, a day of fun. And ladies and gentlemen, God has blessed us with great weather and thousands of PNM in Skinner Park. So on behalf of the People's National we can let this come for that, right? On behalf of the People's National Movement, I want to say thank you to all those members, supporters, and volunteers, especially who prepared our people to present our party in this tremendous display of substance, of unity, and a show of all the people of Trinidad and Tobago gathered under the Belize flag in Skinner Park in San Fernando. Thank you. I want to thank all those people who prepared our young people to have so presented that outstanding display during our march past. But at this point, I want to record my protest. I've sent it upstairs for the umpires to look at the VAR because Diego Martin West was supposed to win. But during the parade, I saw another MP from another place standing close to the judge's enclosure. On that basis, I intend to file a pre-action protocol. But in the meantime, I lead Devo Martin West to say to all the other constituencies, once you participated today, we are all winners. Ladies and gentlemen, for me, this demonstration and participation in our party event is a demonstration that we don't only say that the PNM is the premier political party in Trinidad and Tobago and the region, but we demonstrate it by showing it in the way we have done today. So right about now, as they would say in a Calypso tent, permit me to present to you the man who gave them lingua fever, Mr. Otley Grantham, the latest elected member of the People's National Movement. And somewhere in the crowd is our candidate, Mr. Nanan, who took an output of 300 votes in Queen Mon Diablo to 900 votes. That, Mr. Nanan, our candidate, representing us in a district that we have not won, but we say winning is not only winning the seat, but like Mr. Nanan, you come forward to be the PNM standard bearer so that every person, regardless of your race, your color, your creed, your class, or your geographical location, once there is an election, this party will put up a quality candidate so you can put your ex next to the Balize. Presenting Fernando of PNM, Mon Diablo. And that is what makes the PNM great. We are not only great in government office, we are great as a political organization in the population, in or out of office. I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, some of the hardest political work that I have done in this country would have been during the period when I served 3 terms in the opposition. Because the PNM puts the country first. We don't end our mission on election day. If we win an election, election day is the start of the work program. For some people, election day is mission accomplished. And after that, it is 5 years of bacchanal, of thieving, of wrong certificate, of drinking, of drunken, and to hell with Trinidad and Tobago until the next election. Ladies and gentlemen, in this fine facility, you may not remember what Skinner Park looked like before. The infrastructure was obsolete. It was outdated. It was uncomfortable. But during the last administration, we took a decision not only to maintain or to rebuild, but to completely replace the structure that was here in Skinner Park. And in a time of significantly reduced revenue, because we prioritize spending taxpayers' money on taxpayers' interests, we were able to build this Skinner Park facility during that very difficult period. We are currently hosting in Trinidad, in South Trinidad, the T20 World Cup. And the only reason that we could be doing that is because you, the people, elected the PNM in 2015. And during that very difficult period, the PNM went back to the abandoned Brian Lara Stadium and built it. They had stolen out of it everything that wasn't nailed down. And we built it, and we built it better. Until today, the Brian Lara Academy field is one of the premier cricket grounds in the world, staging world cricket. But if you go to the Hansard in the Parliament record, you will see it being said by the other group of parliamentarians as to why they could not and would not complete the Brian Lara Academy structure. They said, one, the ground could not hold a cricket pitch because the soil was bad and Manning chose the wrong place to build the Brian Lara Academy. They said the structures were engineeringly unsound, and if they had to be rectified, it would cost $200 million. What did the PNM do? After you elected us, we went back to that site and we built it for $80 million. So when you go home tonight, when you say your prayers, don't go to sleep, but say the prayers early. because we need your prayers for West Indies tonight against South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, in opposition, we have maintained our constitution, maintained our constitutional structure. As I speak to you now, in government, all our party units are engaged in the democratic process of electing the next year's officers at every level. And soon you will be called to convention to elect your executive members of our party. And I can guarantee you that these standard operations will cause no upheaval, no disturbance in the PNM, because we are Eric Williams' party, the national movement. We are different. We are different. Ladies and gentlemen, it have some of them announcing party. They ain't have no music. They ain't have no venue. They ain't have no patron, but they have party. But that is okay. It is when they ask you to put the country, and that is when you should know joke is joke, but that kind of joke ain't no joke. This country requires serious leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been your Prime Minister for almost 9 years. I will start my 10th year in a few months. I have never been drunk on the job. Nobody is holding any secret from me with respect to my sexuality. Nobody is holding secret from me with respect to what financial gifts they have given me. The members of my cabinet, not one of them could say to me, if you move me, I go do this, I go do that. Because I move a minister or a senator, the only thing they could do is move to where I've been moved. We have no fear of that. And I say to this population, I say to this population, the time has come for you to take great care as to who you want to consider to run the affairs of state. There are some people who believe it's about giving a chance. Well, you've done that. You gave the NAR a chance, then went up Chancellor Hill. You gave something called the partnership with a chance, then empty the treasury. You gave the PNM what you consider to be a chance, what we consider to be a well-earned victory in any election that we have contested. And on every occasion, we can point to how we have moved our country forward. But the French have a statement they make. They say, the more things change, the more they remain the same. And that is exactly what is happening now. When Dr. Williams formed this party, there were strong voices, some that believed they could control the media to use all those influences against the coming of the PNM. Dr. Williams was called a communist, and Catholics were encouraged not to vote for the PNM because Dr. Williams was a communist, and communists don't like God. That was in 1956. The PNM overcame that and won the election. When it was time, after Election Day in September 1956, to talk now about developing the country, those who had some money and had some business, they opposed to the ends of the earth the PNM's idea of the pay as you earn. But Dr. Williams and the PNM knew it was good and better for the country. So when we believe it's good and better for the country, even though there are some voices, sometimes loud voices, we proceed to do what we believe is right and in the best interest of all the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Today, that PAYE system is the revenue collection of income tax, which is a staple in government's revenues, and it funds your jobs and it funds the country's development program. None of them will come now and say, well, I support it. There were times when we were approaching the idea of independence. There were people in this country in positions of influence who opposed the idea of an independent Trinidad and Tobago. But the PNM pressed on. Who today is brave enough to stand up in front of this country and say that we do not want to be independent? Ladies and gentlemen, our history is long, it is broad, it is deep. So what you see happening today with this government, where there are people who oppose every single thing that the government is trying to do, we simply say to them, Mass, we know you. Since 1956, that has been your position. Only on Friday, we passed in the parliament whistleblower legislation. And you know how it was passed? It was passed by the PNM saying that we will go it alone if we have to go it alone. But we did not walk alone. A member from Kumuto Manzanilla walked with the PNM in the interest of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Ladies and gentlemen, we know why those people do not want whistleblower legislation and protection for whistleblowers, because they are afraid of those who know what they know, that they will talk about who they know do what they did. And you know that too. Right now in the parliament, we have an investigation of parliamentary inquiry level, inquiring into the conduct of the largest contract ever awarded in this country, a contract of $7 billion under Kamala Prasad Bissessa and the UNC. The contractor went bankrupt in April of 2015. The day before the general election in September, they took out the clause in the contract and allowed the contractor to go away with $971 million. And if you don't believe me, look at the parliament and you will see people on bail in the parliament in a leadership production in the UNC. That could never happen in the People's National Movement. And I say to you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, if you don't stand up and demand high standards, you will have all these people who have been identified as having questions to answer, putting themselves forward, hoping that they would have poisoned you so much against the PNM that you will put their record aside, and for something that they say, you will vote for them. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say to you that the standard that you must subscribe to today is that regardless of what the political leadership says, no person in this country who has been arrested by the police for criminal conduct must be elected into this country's parliament. None of them. And that is nothing new. We of the PNM had 2 ministers of government who was lied upon by the UNC personnel. But once they were arrested, Eric Williams and Frankie Khan under the PNM had to leave the parliamentary work, had to leave this minister. They made allegations against Marlene. Marlene was in my cabinet, and once it was said that they had new information and Marlene had questions to answer, they went to her house at 4 o'clock in the morning and arrested her. I, as Prime Minister, had to take Marlene out of the cabinet. So we want no lower standard for anybody else. If they're a bunch of thieves, then the police will know that. If they're engaged in racketeering, the police will know that. But once the police act against them, they would be disqualified, and only you can disqualify them. We in the PNM, we have taken decisions. Not all painless, but all in the interest of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. I know that you know that the government used to own a refinery. The government still owns it. As part of our country's management, the government closed down that refinery. The government paid the workers $2.7 billion in separation. The refinery has been there unutilized since 2018. You would have seen them in the parliament quarreling with us, saying that we're spending $1 million a year to keep the refinery clean and operational. But now that the government has said that we are looking at some people who may be interested in running the refinery because they may have the crude oil that we didn't have to run it. I hear one union leader singing Calypso, and in his Calypso tent, sending word for me to say that the government will not be allowed to dispose of the refinery without his and his friends' permission. Well, I want to tell him today, when you own your own refinery, the government wouldn't interfere with it. But the refinery that is owned by the people of Trinidad and Tobago, until you are in the government or the Prime Minister, go and sing your Calypso to your friends elsewhere and stop talking stupidness. In 1 month's time, the cabinet will put in place an evaluation team to evaluate the offers of those who think they could run the refinery and have the means to convince us that they are a good fit. And I expect that by the end of August, the government will be able to say to you, yes, we have a taker, or no, we have no taker. And that will have nothing to do with these mischievous troublemakers who believe that they could talk any nonsense anytime and the government will just sit back and take it. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't take them seriously. Last year, members of the legal profession got silk. Some of them were known UNC activists. One of them actually ran for the post of deputy chairman of the UNC last weekend. When they got silk, I didn't hear anybody accusing me of political bias. But when qualified PNM members of the profession, one who served as Attorney General for 5 years, had more law advanced to the Parliament than virtually any other Attorney General. The other one who fought on his legs to bring back millions of dollars to this country. When they were made senior counsel, I seen the political bias on behalf of the PNM. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I ignore that as Eric Williams ignored the obstructions before. I am proud that people of that quality found their way into the PNM, demonstrated their worth on behalf of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. The one thing that you are sure of, that I as Prime Minister will never take silk. Ladies and gentlemen, some of them only deserve crocus bag and blue duck, talking about silk. But ladies and gentlemen, it appears as though when they get the silk, the system good. But if any PNM person gets it, the system bad. You remember how they wanted the Prime Minister to give up the veto in the appointment of a commissioner of police? And all kind of good things would have happened when that would have been done. Well, they convinced Prime Minister Manning to do that. And that was the last time any smooth appointment of a commissioner of police took place in this country. You had a situation where 2 foreigners came in, you had to pay them millions to go home. Then you had another situation where one acting commissioner acted for a number of years until he retired. Another time, you hear they couldn't start the process. It was the government that you elected in 2015 that started the process and allow us now to have a commissioner of police. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been solving the country's problems one after the other. Whether it is in health, in education, in foreign affairs, in infrastructure, in national security, your government, the People's National Movement, with your support, we have not been afraid to engage. So today, I am particularly pleased with this turnout. I am buoyed up and strengthened by your support. I ask you to stand by, wait for the call, because in the middle of the night, the dawn may not be too far away. Ladies and gentlemen, whenever they are ready, THA election, by-election, general election, we will beat them in the East, we'll beat them in the West, we'll beat them in the North, and we'll massacre them in the South. Ladies and gentlemen, great is the PNM. Great is the PNM. Great is the PNM, and we shall prevail.
What a leader! PNM people, what a leader we have! Sober leadership, inspirational leadership,